Eh, okay, so let's start with the usual. What games have you been playing lately?
Hmm. What I'm what I most recently played was Call of Duty World at War. Yeah. Wait, are we still having issues or
What do you mean?
never mind? Is it working?
I think so.
Okay.
You just moved off the screen, so I wanted to reposition it.
Okay. Uh, so that's what I've been playing recently.
Sorry, what did you say again?
That's what I was playing recently.
What was you playing recently? I was distracted at that point because I was moving the laptop.
Right. I played Call of Duty World at War from 2008.
Okay. Lately, I've been mostly alternated between Stardew Valley, which had its 1.6 update finally come out, and Sons of the Forest, which I got recently. But I've also been trying to get back into some other games like Dark Souls.
Nice.
Okay, okay. Since we seem stuck, I'll ask you a question.
Yeah. Okay.
What game or series do you love that has a community that makes you ashamed to love it?
It makes you ashamed to love it.
Yeah,
Like a fan base that really
like a toxic fan base.
half the Fallout fan base is toxic. Or they're actually not half, or they're like both like ends are full of like you have like it's like split between you got elitists on one end, you know, who that write long multi-hour long pretentious essays, and then you have shills, and honestly just they're both insufferable.
Yeah, but or my mom. Yeah, for me, it would be Stardew Valley. You would not believe how fierce people can get about their opinions on each character.
I'm honestly surprised by that. I mean, Stardew Valley seems pretty inoffensive.
The,
I figured that its fan base would probably be very peaceful, very nonchalant, but I guess not. So
do you have anything to add?
let me think of. I actually think. How about we ask the viewers some question, or like ask the viewers if, and have tell them they can send in questions and we can answer them.
Zero viewers.
Damn it. Okay. How about I just tell you a bunch of stuff and then I want to see how you react to it.
Oh, okay.
I was playing Call of Duty World at War, and when I finished the campaign, well, this I was kind of expecting this. This was a surprise back in 2008. they revealed us you unlocked a third game mode besides campaign and multiplayer.
What?
Zombies. Nazi zombies, to be more specific. Yeah, there, I said it. Go ahead, demonetize us.
Well, my channel isn't big enough to be monetized.
Yeah, but just for future reference.
Oh.
And long story short, long story short, you take all the guns from the campaign. Or like they take like a small room from the campaign, like some reused assets, and then made it into and created a survival horror game. Like imagine this, like zombies.
Not to be confused with a horror survival game.
Yeah, but in this case, like you're essentially in like this small like bunker, and zombie or like zombified German soldiers and SS members like start ripping down the barricades. You gotta shoot them and then like repair the barricades.
Oh.
Every kill and barricade repair gets you points that you then spend on better that you then spend those points on better weapons.
What? Oh, okay. So, yeah, I know how Call of Duty Zombies works.
But that was the reveal, and weirdly, you might not know this, but a lot of the story and its lore was actually based on fan theories.
Okay, that I did not know.
What I mean by is, for example, one zombie was moaning and said the name, or said something that sound. One of the guys on like one of the forums for the studio said that it sounded like they were saying the name Sam. So they created so in not too long after, the character Samantha Maxis was introduced.
Uh,
At one point, it was like they speculated on where the zombie outbreak came from, or like some of the theories surrounding that ended up being proven true
uh,
later on.
what do you think is the best Halo game? I haven't played most of this, but I hear good things about Halo 3.
Well, Halo 3 is very much like out of the peak. I always thought I I've always kind of preferred I've always kind of liked 2 the most, but that's just me. Though 3 undeniably has a lot more features. And I'll tell you this, for Halo 3, great thing was for cosmetics, you didn't no microtransactions. Instead, you'd unlock the armors automatically unlocked when you got when you got this achievement. You unlock that cosmetic. Like beat the campaign on maximum difficulty.
Yeah, yeah. The first Halo game to actually have microtransactions was 4, and even
No, it was that's wrong. It was 5.
I think the I think Halo 4's microtransactions
No,
were
there weren't any microtransactions.
I think the
No, I trust me that like I played it. There are no microtransactions.
I think they removed it for the Halo for the Master Chief Collection.
No, what happened was 343 considered adding microtransactions to the Master Chief Collection, but they after fan due to fan backlash at the possibility when they heard that they were thinking about that, they decided it wasn't worth it, and they didn't put it in. And then for the sake of good, they realized it would be a PR nightmare if they added microtransactions to the Master Chief Collection, so they opted not to.
For some reason, I feel like you already told me that be be for please plan to add microtransactions to the Master Chief Collection.
They're saying they've thought about it, but but due to just PR realized it would be a bad idea.
I've Well, of course, I've only heard that. I can't prove it for myself because I never got the chance to play Halo 4 before it was added to the Master Chief Collection.
Well, actually, in 2014, Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3, and Halo 4 were the original members of the Master Chief Collection when it first came out. No microtransactions. Not even before. Halo 5 was the one that added it with this rec pack system. And you know what they and you know what they how they in their video explaining how the rec pack system for Halo 5 worked, you know what they did? They
What?
pulled out at the end like a guy's asking about wouldn't this mess up the game balance? The whole rec pack system, like the microtransactions and all that. This to win system, they're saying this would this mess up the balance? And then in response to that guy, he pulls out a grenade and says, "Secure your noise hole, soldier." Grown-ups are talking. Then he throws the grenade at the guy, and then he blows up and dies.
Duh.
So nerds are saying anyone who disagrees with the microtransactions is not mature.
And will get blown up.
Yes, pretty much. Though it was, though, with all due respect, to be fair, it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it's hard to see that not at least being funny.
Yes, even if it also will tick you off a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, let me think of something I found out recent, or what I thought was a seems like a pretty cool little or something. I think of something that I found. I found out that the bridge in the second level of Combat Evolved at the beginning. Andrew,
Yeah. The wood.
I found if you go over to this one rock, stand on top of it, drop a grenade, and then you can go over the river and not have and skip the bridge. And one thing that's cool about that is if you do that, then you skip a trigger, and now none of the on the way through the woods, none of the enemies spawn because you didn't cross the bridge. The enemies like once you get to the other side of the bridge, that's when they're programmed to spawn. You okay?
Do you have a favorite genre or no?
Don't change the subject. But I'd say RPGs are usually my favorite.
I don't really have one, but I like Souls like combat.
Okay, but this is cool. But please don't change the topic on me like that.
Always seems stuck.
Well, I was going somewhere and then you suddenly turned like you didn't react to when I told you about the bridge.
Okay, can you continue?
Well, I was hoping you'd respond when I said like, if you go on the rock and then drop the grenade, you can and go the explosion will propel you and it'll go to the other side of the river. You won't even need to pass the bridge, and because you didn't pass the bridge, the enemies don't spawn.
That seems like a big oversight.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing it's because Bungie thought that everyone would just go by the bridge, but I guess people wanted to experiment. Like, I think of something else that I thought was
If
what?
okay, if we're Jordan, okay, to the audience, if you're confused whether Halo is made by Bungie or 343. The first three Halo games that
Five,
we
or actually five of them were made. They made the original trilogy, and then they were under contract. They were wanted to become their own studio again, so they were told that they had to make two more games. Then they could leave, but they would also but also the condition that they would have to relinquish ownership of Halo. So after Halo 3, they made two spin-offs, Halo 3 ODST and Halo Reach. Then they left and began working on Destiny.
and the later Halo games were made by 343.
343 Industries was established in 2007, and then over the next 5 years, they created Halo 4. Then they released MCC 2 years later. Then a year after that, they released Halo 5, and 6 years later, they introduced Infinite.
Okay.
I think of something. Oh, yeah. Originally, before 343 were created, the original idea was to contract Gearbox to make Halo games going forward. You know the guys who made Borderland. You know the guys who make Borderlands.
Can you remind me, did Gearbox develop Aliens Colonial Marines or just publish it?
I think they published it, but they also had very strong oversight in the game's development.
Well, well, I was. Do you know why I asked that?
Why?
So I to see if this was an opportune time. I'm to make a joke about aliens, colonial marines, bad AI.
Yeah, so, but give Gearbox. Imagine if Gearbox. Imagine if 3 didn't exist. Gearbox would have made Halo 4.
Yeah.
That. And I'm just gonna say it. During the Bungie games, um, Halo's enemy AI is awesome.
Yeah. It was revolutionary for its time and still pretty good now.
Yeah. I don't know if that's. I don't know if that should be considered a thumbs up to Bungie, or if that should reflect the failings of the modern industry, knowing that we still haven't surpassed it.
Yeah.
But it's good to know that it still holds up 23 years later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just the other day, I was playing Capture the Flag in Combat Evolves multiplayer.
So what are you leading into with this?
What?
So what are you leading into this with this?
I'm just showing that people are still. I'm just saying it shows a lot that people that there's still a good chunk of people still playing the game who just come down and just have casual fun with it, even though it's 23 years old.
Okay. So, so
Well, community's still vibrant. I've even got teabagged a few times.
you can't help but laugh when you say that in such an enthusiastic tone.
Yeah, well, they got to assert dominance. One time, my entire team, some of my team got actually really mad at me. Like they thought I was kind of messing things up. They got mad because I kept running over some of them while they were AFK.
With the warthog or something?
with the warthog. So they killed me. And then due to a glitch, I got stuck in the floor. So it's like I'm trying to jump up. So it's only like my head is sticking out above the map. Like it's if you look at them like with the exception of my head, everything else was below the map. So I'm just like a little head moving around.
Indeed.
So what I did was I like had someone drop it. So I told one of them drop a grenade. So then they like dropped a grenade next to my head. So then I went. Then my body fell through the map, and thus I respawned.
Uh,
Yes. What's the so funny thing? Multiplayer almost didn't ship.
with Combat Evolved or with it hit the Master Chief Collection.
With Combat Evolved. It was only added 2 months before release, and just a few weeks before the launch, they were seriously considering cutting it.
Okay. I don't, I'm not disinterested. I just don't know what to say.
Okay, so then let's just talk.
Listen to any good video game fan songs recently?
Yes.
Like what?
Well, I listened to Halo Combat Evolved the musical.
I
I also went and revisited Minecraft, some of the Minecraft songs on YouTube from the early 2010s. I listened to this one of New Vegas with Mr. House.
two two well for me 2/3 of the total artists and bands I regularly listen to who primarily or entirely make video game fan songs.
Nice. Like which ones?
Like which games or which bands and artists?
Nice.
I said like I asked you a question.
Oh, what was the question? I didn't understand what the question was.
Like, do you mean which band and artist or which games?
What?
I said, do you mean which band and artist or which games?
Which games? Like which games are they satirizing? Or are they singing songs about?
Yeah. Well, well, they sing about a lot of different games.
Okay. I could probably head back.
And I can only think of one that was actually satirizing a game.
Nice.
You Died by Miracle of Sound,
Have a nice day.
which is satirizing